Hello, my name is Karen Goldberg and I'm Professor in Autism Studies at the University of Birmingham. I'm also Director of the Autism Centre for Education and Research. We've undertaken research looking at the experience of parents of autistic children during lockdown, and we've created a series of short films. The first topic we explore is best practice.
Can you tell me what it was like for you as a family in that first period of lockdown, and how did school support you?
At lunchtime, I suppose, on that day, I received a message saying that his school was going to close that day. So when he got home from school, it was, this is it then. The first thing that was particularly hard about that was a lack of information about what COVID was. In a way that I would be able to explain to him. All sorts of visuals and ways of explaining what COVID was became available as the time went on. At that particular point in time, I would say there was a lack of information, a lack of preparation.
They were in regular contact during the lockdown, very good communication and support, but before, not a lot, because I don't think they really knew what was happening themselves. The teacher was saying, we may be going into lockdown or we may not. They really didn't know day by day.
Well, the problem became where there was no interaction from his class teacher. So it went from him seeing her, 5 days a week to him not seeing or hearing. So even the online work that was provided, her face wasn't present, so it was just a screen with the mouse moving around, which for him it didn't work at all.
The teacher was really good. He'd film little videos of what he was doing and he'd post them, and he'd check with me in advance. He'd say, would it help her if she knew what I was doing, that I'm okay, that I'm up to this? I was like, yeah. And she could just see, actually, everyone is okay.
It was all by email, and it was just a lot of it was positive encouragement, activities, getting people to do activities, posting pictures, and the schoolwork, of course, and just regular communication, really, and saying what facilities were available. Every day there'd be the day's lesson online. And that was linked into, there was YouTube resources, and I believe they had some educational websites that weren't normally available as well.
The way the work was presented was really beneficial to him, so he was getting some quite clear, concrete descriptions of what he needed to do, and it was all visually supported, and the tasks were broken down, as opposed to a lot of verbal instructions.
Over lockdown, we had very little contact from school, so we only really had initially sort of the normal check-ins they were doing with all the students. So they phoned once to talk to us, see how she was. And at that point, she was fine because she wasn't having to go to school, and it was a big relief to her to not have to go to school. One of the things we noticed was that they were setting all of the work on their school website, and everything was quite one size fits all, and none of it really fitted her. The other thing that was quite difficult was a lot of it was focused on probably things that were easier for them to set and monitor remotely, like spellings and times tables and things like that, handwriting exercises, which unfortunately were all the things she really hates about school and doesn't want to do.
Contact with the family liaison was nice, because she wasn't just checking on the kids, she was checking on all of us. They were checking we could get adequate food, they were checking, we weren't short of anything, we weren't struggling. So that was really nice to have that. They were there 24/7 almost. Just if you had a message, you got an answer almost straight back.
In terms of school, we had a phone call a day, which I understand because he has an EHC plan, so I understand they were duty bound to give us that phone call. Did I find them productive? No. Did they offer support? No. They listened. I would tell them the same story. Things are really bad. And it would be, I will phone you tomorrow. And that's all it was. Don't get me wrong, I spoke to his pastoral manager a few times, and she's lovely. I have to be honest, she's lovely. And there was also one other teacher So you'd speak to different teachers, you didn't know who you were getting. Some of the teachers didn't even know him. They didn't even know anything about him. So it was, you were talking to people that didn't even know your child. He's very scientific and he's incredible. His brain is incredible. And he'd made a Tesla coil and we posted it to his pastoral manager, who then posted it to his science teacher. And his science teacher actually contacted us and said, could I phone him? And that was lovely. She must have been on the phone to him for no more than 5 minutes, but the difference that made to him.